This week we are exploring centering prayer, and this is one of my favorite ways to pray. I really love the simplicity of just letting the essence of my being connect with the essence of God and just be there together. So I'm going to walk you through a brief form of my practice, and you can try it out and see if there's something here for you as well in the practice of centering prayer. So I like to sit on a pillow, but wherever you're comfortable is good for you. This is my music room, and it's kind of set apart from the rest of the house, so that feels also like a good space for me to move into as I come into the presence of my own awareness of the presence of God. I like to light a candle, so I'll do that now. For me, this practice works really well in the morning before I've become distracted by all the tasks of the day and the concerns. This is something I'm still new at. I've only been doing this for a few years, and so I notice that at certain times of my life it's easier or harder to honor this practice. And for me, sometimes the busier I am, the less disciplined I am about stepping into this practice, which is unfortunate because it's so beneficial for me. And I think it blesses God as well. Okay, so the candle's lit. And the cat is here. She likes to pray with me too. So I like to use this book called Seeking God's Face. It's a devotional that spans across several years, which was one of the things that I was really attracted to in the beginning. I got this in 2011, and there is a column on every page with the dates, and so I can keep using this for another 5 years. So the invitation says, "Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures through all generations. The Lord is trustworthy in all he promises and faithful in all he does." That comes from Psalm 145, verse 13. And then we read a portion of a psalm, and just pay attention to any word or phrase that moves something in your heart or in your spirit. Maybe it grabs your attention. Maybe it brings a sigh from you. Anything that moves you. This is Psalm 25, verses 8 through 14. "Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore he instructs sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them his way. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful toward those who keep the demands of his covenant. For the sake of your name, Lord, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. Who then are those who fear the Lord? He will instruct them in the ways they should choose. They will spend their days in prosperity, and their descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them." There's also then a Bible reading that follows, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to go on to the next part of this devotional, which is called Dwelling. And the encouragement reads like this: "Leisurely read again. Is there a word or idea that stirred within you? Linger over it and give it your attention. Is there something about the reading you'd like to ask God about? Pray your life to God Take a moment to rest in God's presence. So with that in mind, I'll read the verses from the psalm again. Just notice what word or phrase or idea really speaks and calls out to your heart so that you can linger over it. Psalm 25, verses 8 through 14. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore he instructs sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right and teaches them his way. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful toward those who keep the demands of his covenant. For the sake of your name, Lord, forgive my iniquity, though it is great. Who then are those who fear the Lord? He will instruct them in the ways they should choose. They will spend their days in prosperity, and their descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. Did you hear a word or a phrase that sparked something, or that grabbed your attention, or whispered for it? For me, it was all the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful. And so I'm going to take loving and faithful into a short prayer. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit in the silence for about 5 minutes with my coffee. I'm going to close my eyes most of the time, but sometimes I might open them and look at the candle. Although it looks like my candle went out, so I'm going to light it again. But you are welcome to find a comfortable position for yourself. If you wish, you can write down your word or phrase. You could find it in your own Bible. And let's just go into the silence. So I wonder what you noticed in the silence and stillness with your word or phrase that called to your heart. What I notice is that as distractions come and go, that phrase is something that can just gently remind me of my purpose, which is to clear some internal space and just be there with God. I'm not looking for a certain answer to a certain question. It's not usually a time of intercession, although occasionally I can feel that I am taking a concern for someone else with me, and I feel sort of like I'm bringing that person into the presence of God. But I feel released from pressure to know something or to say something, just the right words to God, and remember everything that needs intercession. And it's just a time to honor that I'm a being created by God and just be with the Creator. It's a time when I feel really held by God, and that's very precious to me. And I usually feel something more solid in my heart, which makes me think of the title. I feel more centered. Like now I can go about my day being responsive to distractions, like the cat, one of my favorites. Being responsive to those distractions, but from a center that knows who I am and what I'm about, because I know who I belong to and who is with me right in here. So I hope this is useful to you as well. If you are interested in this, this is really an amazing devotional called Seeking God's Face, Praying the Bible Through the Year. I'll try to get this information in the comments section. Another thing that I have used over the years is an app for, I believe it's available for both iPhones and non-iPhone smartphones, called Centering Prayer, and it's through Contemplative Outreach. It's a wonderful app that includes the timer that you heard. I set that to one of their sounds so that then I also don't have to keep looking at my watch to find out if I'm done with my prayer for the day. So I hope that you found this useful and that you'll give Centering Prayer a good college try. Thank you, and blessings to you.